I am from Fairport, New York. My name is Douglas Sharp, and I am the navigator for the 1911 Velie H1 Racetype. You have to prepare mentally for this race. It is a timed event road rally, and it is an endurance event. You have to be ready every morning to get your instructions, to follow a route to a T. The navigator has to keep the car on time and make sure that you get from point A to point B on time to get the best score you possibly can. Well, the Great Race has been a part of the family. We have been racing since 1991. First year we ran from Norfolk, Virginia to Seattle, Washington, and I can remember each day getting out of the car with support crew, waiting for Dad to come in with his other navigator and going, "What'd you get for a score?" And they would go, "Oh, we got 2 minutes," or "We got," the best day they ever had, I think, was like, I don't know, 17 seconds maybe. But that day, the whole field got like under 10. So they were still in like 50th place for the whole, out of when they were running 100 cars on this thing. So at that point, it was like, wow, it's pretty fun. And got the opportunity to navigate a few years later. And I got lost a little bit, but we did beat my father because I was navigating with another team that day. And he couldn't believe it. And then at that point, we continued. I ran support for a couple more years, and then we started racing in 1997. And since then, we've been driving the Velie. We've driven our 29 Dodge. We've driven a 1932 Ford. And this year, we decided to bring the Velie back out of retirement. Everybody loves to retire these days, and the Velie retired, but then we brought it back from its retirement because it's 100 years old this year. So we figured bringing it to the country at 100 years old was a challenge in its own right. And we were just excited to bring it out. After today, maybe felt like the 32 Ford was a better option, but it is just such a crowd pleaser, and it's great to bring it to every town that we can. And everybody should be driving an old car because the view is always better behind the wheel of an old car. For the Great Race, you have to listen to everybody, past winners, fellow competitors, of what they're doing in the car. And not only that, you need to know what your car does. Each day we do a tire calibration, a speedometer calibration. I always call it tire calibration, but it's sort of tire/speedometer calibration. And that tells us how accurate our speedometer is. From there, you have a car factor. You need to know what your car does at every certain speed. Once you know that, then you have to follow the course and then insert at certain speeds how you should be traveling down the road and what you should correct for one way or the other. Years of being in the Velie, we've learned a lot, and I know what it's going to do. The car only accelerates so fast, and it only decelerates as quick as we can get on that brake. As a driver, Howard goes out there and just does a phenomenal job every day. And manhandling that old car down the road is tough, but it does just drive down the road like a tank. And learning everything over the years, again, from everybody, whether, again, past winners, everybody's all very helpful to try to let everybody get a better score and learn about a better score. But you learn from everybody, and then you take those and try to implement them, and you learn something every day when you're out in the car. For the race, we do have a support crew. With having the old car, we need to carry more stuff than what we can carry in the car. So we need that extra vehicle with supplies. We are driving the old car, so we can't go to the store and buy a part. Where some of these 30s and 40s vehicles, you can still go and buy a part at an AutoZone or a parts store. And a lot of them are I would say much stronger than newer cars. So the support crew, I believe, is important, whether it's a short race or a long race. They provide that additional support. Our hotel rooms are ready at night. When we show up, they give you a key and they go, okay, we're in room 410. We don't have to think about that part. We can really focus on the race and not the extras. Everything else just gets taken care of. So it is important for a support crew, and support crews have a lot of fun too. I did that for a number of years before I started racing. Well, I would certainly love to keep doing this every year, great racing. Sometimes it's a week away from home racing, plus time getting to and from, so you do have to have a fairly flexible schedule. Luckily enough, I do have that, and we look forward to continue to racing every year that the great race is continuing on. It's a family tradition now, I guess you could say. And it's something we mark out on the calendar each year, as long as they have it in June. Don't start in July, August, September. Just run it in June. We can take care of it. So the great race, go for as long as we can, as long as Howard wants to keep driving. It might only be a couple of years at this pace, but we'll start driving a newer car and it'll make him a lot happier. The great... Boy, I mean, it's such a great thing. I mean, the word, just the great race, encompasses everything. It is a race for a family to come out to see, to anybody to come out and see, embrace, enjoy. You get to see the country not from going down the highway. It does go by really fast, and you might not remember any of it after you get done at the end of the day. But the scenery is beautiful. And in just having the experience to drive an old car across the country to a different city, to a different town, and you show up in these towns and people go, wow, what are you doing? And you go, we're racing to, this year, Bennington, Vermont. Where'd you come from? We came from Chattanooga. Wow, it's not a car show. Nope, this is a race. And they go, that's awesome. You guys, good luck, have fun. Now, really, where are you going? We're going to Vermont. Oh, okay. So some people don't really believe you, but it's something that it's just so eye-opening to so many people that the great race, in the name and the family values, the core values, it's all wholesome and good, and that's what makes it such a fun experience.